Operations Wing Change of Command Ceremony. Today, the men and women of the 27th Special Operations Wing pay special tribute to Colonel Stewart A. Hammons and extend a hearty welcome to the Colonel Robert A. Masaitis. The presiding officer for today's ceremony is Lieutenant General James Jim Slythe, Commander, Air Force Special Operations Command. The formation is led by the Commander of Troops, Colonel Nathan L. Owendorf, Vice Commander, 27th Special Operations Wing. We are honored to have several special guests with us today. Please hold your applause until all are announced. Colonel Hammons' spouse, Major Kiara Hammons, and their daughter, Brianna. Colonel Masaitis' spouse, Julie, and their children, Chloe and Zachary. Colonel Masaitis' mother, Miss Evelyn Masaitis. Colonel Masaitis' father, Mr. Robert Masaitis, and his spouse, Nancy Ashbrenner. Colonel Masaitis' aunt, Miss Ana Trujillo. The wing also extends a special welcome to our distinguished military and civic leaders. Please hold your applause until all are announced. Representing the U.S. Senator from New Mexico, Tom Udall, Mr. Ben Salazar. Representing U.S. Senator for New Mexico, Martin Heinrich, Miss Diane Ventura, and Miss Irish Chavez. Representing U.S. Representative for New Mexico, Ben Lujan, Mr. Ron Wilmont. The Mayor of Clovis, the Honorable David Lansford, and his spouse, Debbie. The Mayor of Portales, the Honorable Ron Jackson. The Command Chief, Air Force Special Operations Command, Chief Master Sergeant Corey Olson. United States Air Force Retired, Brigadier General Ed Tatum. Chief of Staff Civic Leader Program Member, Mr. Stacy Martin, and his spouse, Charlie. The 27th SOW Honorary Command, Dr. Jeff Elwell, and his spouse, Edwina. Additionally, we would like to extend a special welcome to all general officers, commanders, command chiefs, chief honorary commanders, community leaders, family and friends, and especially the men and women of Cannon Air Force Base. Welcome, and thank you for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The ceremonies conducted by the armed forces are designed to honor distinguished persons or recognize special events. Please direct your attention to today's formation representing the 27th Special Operations Wing, comprised of 4 groups, encompassing 23 squadrons and the wing staff.
Sound! Adjutants, call! Receive the report. Read! Attention to orders! Detail for the day! Officer of the day! Lieutenant Colonel Hodgin, by order of Colonel Hammons.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of command and remain standing for the presentation of the colors, singing of the national anthem by Major Michael Carter, Airman First Class John Fitzmaurice, and Mr. Eric Stiver, as well as the invocation by Chaplain Major Dwayne McCrory.
Present! Hard! Order! Present the colors. Stand by. Code. Ten. Cut. Right shoulder. Arm. Arms ready. Cut. Forward. Heart. Present. Hard. Hold. Hold. Present. On.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes clad bright stars through the perilous fight? For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Right shoulder. Arm. Hold. Hold. Heart. Order! Hard! At ease!
If you would please pray with me. Almighty God, we ask your blessings upon this significant moment in the life of the 27th Special Operations Wing, as Colonel Steve Hammons and Colonel Robert Masaitis has between them the guide on our command. We thank you for the inspiring leadership of Colonel Hammons to get after the mission both here and while deployed to SOIC, for empowering and mentoring his group of squadron commanders, and for all that he and his wife, Major Kira Hammons, have done to make Cannon Air Force Base and the Clovis community a better place for all who are stationed here. Watch over and protect the Hammons family and prepare them for the challenges ahead as they move to new responsibilities. As Colonel Masaitis assumes command, empower and equip him to lead this outstanding and diverse group of air commandos. Grant him the insight required to anticipate tomorrow's challenges, the perseverance to get after the mission, and the ability and fortitude to make the decisions for what is right along the way. Be with his family in the long hours required of command, and continue to watch over and protect all the members of the 27th SOW and Team Cannon deployed around the globe. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Major Carter. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you, Major Carter, Airman First Class Fitzmaurice, and Mr. Stiebel for your beautiful rendition of the national anthem, and Chaplain McCrory for providing the invocation. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, Air Force Special Operations Command, Lieutenant General Jim Slythe.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, visitors, family of the incoming and outgoing commanders. Welcome. I'm proud to be here with you today. A couple of things that I need to mention to you before we begin. So first of all, I would say there is some confusion about the pronunciation of Colonel Hammons' wife's name. So the narrator today said Kiara Hammons. And I kind of, as we were standing over the wing, I looked at Stu and said, Stu, I thought it was Kiara Hammons. I mean, when did it become Kiara? He goes, yeah, I know, apparently I've been saying it wrong all these years. She recently corrected me on this. And so, whatever your name is, welcome. Glad to have you here. We're really going to miss you as you depart the AFSOC family. Welcome, Julie, Masaitis, and the kids. Glad to have you here today. Here's the other thing I need to let you in on. So I feel comfortable saying this in this group because these are special operators, and one of the things that's characteristic of special operators is we know how to keep a secret. And so I'm going to tell you a secret and hope it doesn't get back. And the secret is that I'm the new AFSOC commander, and so my staff at Hurlburt is still kind of trying to figure me out a little bit. And so they say, hey, sir, we work countless hours on this helpful speech for you to give at the wing change of command when you get out to Cannon. And you know, I'm sure it's a great speech, but I'm going to wing it today. And so what I would like you to do is promise me that you won't go back to the AFSOC staff and tell them that I don't appreciate their hard work. I'm sure it's very good. I'll post it online if anybody actually wants to see what they prepared for me. But otherwise, I'm just going to speak from the heart, because frankly, everything that I have to say today comes from the heart. First of all, I'm glad to be back at Cannon. I am the first AFSOC commander that is an alum of Cannon. I served here for a couple of years, between 2010 and 2011 as the Ops Group Commander. I have got a great deal of affection for this base, this community, this mission, and these airmen. I am your AFSOC commander because I feel this connection to Cannon. So I can't tell you how proud I am to be back out here today. Further, I feel a great personal connection to both of the officers that I'm sharing the stage with today. I've known both of these officers for many, many years. I've served with them. Then Captain Hammons and I served together in the early 2000s, shortly after the invasion of Iraq. We shared a lot of combat time together. Our careers have intersected many times. As the Ops Group Commander out here, we had a squadron that was in crisis, frankly. And as the Ops Group Commander, I looked around all of AFSOC and I said, we need the very best squadron commander AFSOC could produce. Stu Hammons was the guy I found. So I will tell you that I've known Stu for a long time. I've put confidence in Stu over the years. I can't wait to see the work that he's going to do as a general officer. Stu, I'll talk just a little bit about the airmen that you've led in just a minute, but I want you to know I couldn't be any more proud of you. It is my privilege to be your wingman. And then our incoming commander, Colonel Robert Masaitis, once again, an officer with whom I've got a great deal of history. When I was the Ops Group Commander out here, and it came time to convert the then MC-130W to AC-130Ws, to gunships, that's a significant cultural change. It's a significant mission change from going to flying a mobility platform to being a precision strike platform. And so we needed somebody in that squadron that could lead complex change. Rob Masaitis was the guy that I hired to do that as the ops officer. Did a brilliant job there. In fact, he did such a brilliant job there that when I left Cannon and went to be the wing commander at Hurlburt, I needed a squadron commander of one of our squadrons at Hurlburt, and I poached Rob Masaitis from the the job that I put him in to another job that I put him in. I have the utmost confidence in Rob and Julie Masaitis. I will tell you, having known the Masaitis family for years, to the men and women of Cannon, to the community partners at Cannon, you are losing a great first family for Cannon Air Force Base, and you're gaining a great family for Cannon Air Force Base. I couldn't be any more happy for the wing and for the community looking at what's coming. But ultimately, change of command ceremonies are not about the men and women that stand up on stage. It's about these airmen. It's about the airmen that we collectively are privileged to lead. And I will tell you, there is no group of airmen in all of AFSOC that I have more pride for than those standing in front of you today. The list of accomplishments over the last couple of years that Steve Hammons has been in command is truly breathtaking. Every one of these units is operationally employed, has had a high operations tempo, has frankly carried the fight to our nation's enemies so that while we're playing the away game, American citizens can play the home game and not have to worry about being attacked here in our nation. It's because of the efforts of these airmen. And so not only has Stu led phenomenal operational successes, not only as the wing commander at Cannon Air Force Base, but as a deployed commander operating in the CENTCOM area of responsibility, commanding these airmen in combat with lethal effect. Great support to the efforts of the rest of the SOF enterprise that's deployed down here. Not only has Stu done that, but Stu has taken best care of the absolutely vital partnerships that we have with our community partners, both in the local level, but also at the state level. Stu has been a tireless advocate for the growth of the Clovis and Port Talbot communities, to bring in additional employment opportunities, to bring in additional quality of life things for the airmen that are stationed here and the families of the local area. Stu has been a tireless advocate for medical care in this area. The local community has worked hard to meet Stu's requests in this regard and have brought in a number of key specialists that will cut down on the amount of time that airmen and their families have to drive to get specialty medical care. Now they're able to get it here in the local area because of the efforts of the men and women sitting over here in these first couple of rows as our community partners. Stu has also worked tirelessly on the education systems to help the Clovis Port Talbot communities draw attention, to draw talent into the education system. Stu has engaged at the statewide level with the governor and secretaries of the various cabinet posts in Santa Fe on behalf of the airmen and families of Cannon and the families of Clovis and Port Talbot who share the public education system. Stu, as I gave you private feedback, but I want your wing and this community partners that are gathered here today to hear what I told you the other day. When Chief Olson and I go around and visit units, it doesn't take long to get a sense for how well a unit is running and if it's a troubled unit or not. And Monday night, after just a few hours on the ground here at Cannon, Chief Olson and I were talking privately and basically said, this is what right looks like from Wing Command Team. So I will tell you, Colonel Hammons, under your leadership and in the leadership of Vice Wing Commander Colonel Lowendoff and your outstanding Command Chief, Chief Skibitsky, you guys are on target firing for effect. Rob, you're going to be getting an Alpha 1 hot turn here in just a couple of moments. I can't wait to see where you're going to take this marvelous machine that's standing in front of us here today during your tenure. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It's a privilege to be back at Cannon during the time that I have in command of AFSOC. You're not going to have a more tireless advocate for the issues of Cannon Air Force Base and for the community relationships we sustain out here. I'm proud to be back and I'm proud to be officiating in today's ceremony. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the Legion of Merit.
Way! Hut!
What was your
Stewart A. Hammons distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious conduct and the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 27th Special Operations Wing, Air Force Special Operations Command, Cannon Air Force Base, New Mexico, from 26 May 2017 to 17 July 2019. The leadership, devotion to duty, and mission-focused efforts demonstrated by Colonel Hammons enabled the Western Air Commandos to execute specialized air power across 6 geographic areas of responsibility, from an installation of 5,900 military, civilian, and contractor personnel. Under his command, 4 groups and 24 squadrons conducted 168,000 combat hours, with 93 aircraft resulting in 4 million tons of cargo delivered, 16,200 United States and coalition forces transported, and 3,500 enemies killed in action. Additionally, Colonel Hammons balanced both wing and expeditionary requirements, managing 28 aircraft and 900 personnel in 8 locations, aiding in the overall destruction of the Islamic State of Iraq, and the Levant in such an overwhelming way that the Daesh leadership pleaded with the United States forces to please send the gunship away. Finally, Colonel Hammond's persistent devotion to both the mission and people garnered 212 Air Force Special Operations Command level awards, 16 Air Force level awards, and 1 Department of Defense level award in recognition of the wing's exemplary air commandos. The superior initiative, outstanding leadership, and personal endeavor displayed by Colonel Hammons reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 27th Special Operations Wing, Colonel Stewart Hammons.
Good morning, everybody. I'm glad you're here, friends, family, community leaders, and most importantly, the men and women of the 27th Special Operations Wing. I'm glad you could join us here today. Great job by our National Anthem trio. Really rocked it, bang it out. Chaplain Corey, great job. For the Base Honor Guard, they did a great job. And frankly, for a big thanks to all the men and women who helped put this ceremony on today, because it just doesn't happen overnight. There's a lot of work that goes into this, so thank you very much. So the last couple of weeks, I began thinking about what I wanted to talk about during this speech. And frankly, I was a bit at a loss, primarily because Chief Sabitsky and I, over the last 2 months, have been conducting about 25 commanders calls across the wings, and I said a lot there that I would have normally covered in a speech about where Canada is at over the last 2 years, where we're going. I was also able to say a lot of personal thank yous to the Airmen and women in this wing. I also got to do that on a couple of occasions with our community leaders. So what I figured I'd do today is kind of tie all that together and show you the big picture for what I'm seeing at the wing in terms of thank yous. So to start with, those 2 right there, we're missing one. Karen, Brianna, and Logan. I love you guys. You guys have truly been the cornerstone of the bedrock of our command tour here. You've done a phenomenal job. Kira, you've not only been a joint spouse working for the 26 STS, you've also been a key spouse for this wing and worked a lot with our community in the chamber. You are truly my superhero, and I love you, sweetheart. Thank you for everything that you've done. To Lieutenant General Slife, sir, thank you, and General Webb for giving me this opportunity and entrusting the men and women of this wing to me. It has truly been the biggest honor and privilege I've ever had, so thank you, sir. The Chief Master Sergeant Sabitsky is standing over here, and she won't look at me because she's too disappointed. She is phenomenal. What a bundle of energy and just an amazing NCO. There's a lot of accomplishments that I've done, I think, over the 2 years that I've been here, but by far, I think the best that I ever did, the best decision I ever made was hiring her as the Wing Command Chief. So Chief, thank you for everything that you've done and will continue to do. Colonel Wendoff, Nate, I could not have asked for a better Vice Wing Commander. You've allowed me to look up and out while you take care of things with our group and squad commanders. It really has been a huge benefit, freeing up my time to work the issues that only I can work. Rick Masters, not sure where he's sitting. Rick, wherever you're at, phenomenal job. Rick is the glue, the continuity on long-term issues that holds this group together. And it's been a privilege working with you again, Rick. Thank you. To all the folks in the front office, both outside of Chief Sabinski's as well as mine, all of that stuff that we do that isn't necessarily glorified, it is incredibly important and it really helps keep this room running, so thank you. To our local community leaders from both Portales and Clovis, our federal and state representatives, our two mayors who are here today, our two chambers, our Committee of 50 and Portales Military Affairs Committee, as well as all of our honorary commanders. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Your support of Cannon Air Force Base is inspiring. It is the best support I've seen in 25 years of military service. You put the interest and needs of our airmen right at the top of the list. And I cannot thank you enough for what you do for all of the men and women standing right here in this formation. It's been a pleasure to work with all of you over the last 2 years. Thank you. Commanders, senior enlisted leaders, first sergeants, the command teams, the glue of what a wing really truly gets after, leadership. I have been awe-inspired both at the group and the squadron level about what you do, leading your airmen every day of the week. It truly has been phenomenal to watch. Starting with the revitalization of the squadron, strapping that on, what the chief needed us to do, and taking the empowerment that we're pushing down to you, and getting after leading your airmen even better than prior to that. I could not be more impressed and more pleased with your leadership and where you're going. I'm incredibly excited for this one. Finally, and most importantly, to the men and women of the 27th Special Operations Wing, whether you turn a wrench, fly a plane, fix someone's pay issue, defend this installation, or provide quality medical care to our airmen, you've exceeded my expectations every day that I've been in command. And every day that I've been in command, I've been amazed at the work that you've accomplished. You have kept this wing at the tip of the spear. You've internalized our mission of execution of specialized air power from a premier installation. I take great pride in the fact that we are the most lethal wing of the United States Air Force and the most innovative in the Air Force. And that does not come from up here. It comes from all the men and women standing in formation in front of me. Truly awe-inspiring, ladies and gentlemen. You are what has made this tour the most rewarding assignment of my career. And I have been humbled and honored to serve you as your wing commander. No words can describe how impressed I am with each and every one of you. So I'll just say from the heart, thank you for everything that you do, day in and day out. As I take my leave of you, I know you're in great hands and will continue to excel under the leadership of Colonel Robert Masaitis. Rob, you're absolutely the right choice to lead this wing. And I'll be honest with you, I wish I was in your spot right now. But I'm excited to watch what you do as I look on from the outside, watching what you do over the next few years. I know you're going to take this wing to even greater heights. So congratulations to you and your family. It's phenomenal. It's a great job and you're going to love it. Thank you very much.
Colonel Hammons will now receive his final salute as the commander of the 27th Special Operations Wing.
Way! Hinge! Hut! Green set! Hawk! Order! Hard!
Thank you, Colonel Hammons. As every Air Commander knows, it is the love and support from our family that enable us to leave and go forward to do America's business. Colonel Hammons has presented a monetary donation to the Special Operations Warrior Foundation in his spouse's name, Kira Hammons, and Commander coins to his son Logan and daughter Brianna, to show his gratitude for their unwavering support. passing of the flag from the outgoing commander to the incoming commander and accomplished in front of the entire unit so all can witness their leader assuming command. He who controls the flag also controls the soldiers and their allegiance. On July 3rd, 1775, an elaborate ceremony was staged with 21 drummers and 21 fifers, as General Artemus Ward surrendered command of the Massachusetts militia to General George Washington. 8 years later, General Washington said farewell to his officers. He said, "With a heart full of love and gratitude, I now take leave of you. I wish you that the later days may be as prosperous and happy as your former ones have been glorious and honorable." Today's ceremony, drawing on the traditions of George Washington, pays tributes to the glorious and honorable achievements of the men and women of the 27th Special Operations Wing as they change command from Colonel Hammons to Colonel Masaitis. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the official change of command. Attention to orders. Headquarters Air Force Special Operations Command Special Order Number GS-19008. Colonel Robert Masaitis assumes command of the 27th Special Operations Wing from Colonel Stewart Hammons, effective 17 July 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
At ease!
Good morning, everybody. Distinguished guests, community leaders, friends, family members, and men and women of Team Cannon. To say it is an honor to stand here in front of you this morning is a serious understatement. As a person who generally prides himself in being able to find the right words for an occasion, I'll be honest that the best that I could come up with this morning is deeply humbled. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank first a couple of people who made my presence on this stage possible, and I just want to spend a little time doing that. I realize this will be the shortest speech of the event, so bear with me. But first and foremost, to my family, Julie, man, I can't thank you enough for everything you do for us and for taking another volunteer position and being a part of this effort that we're about to undertake. I love you very much. Kids, all the turmoil and the change and the moves, you guys have been great, and somehow you managed to still be great kids, smart, funny, and charming at times, and I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Mom, thanks for traveling here. Appreciate you being here very much. You're my first example of what a quiet professional looks like, and I take that with me to this day. Dad, same with you. I appreciate you being here. You're the reason I joined the Air Force. I appreciate that hard shove, but I also appreciate the example that you set for somebody who is passionate about professionalism and how to follow your dreams. General Slife, thanks for the confidence and trust, for the time you've invested in me, and really all of the leadership that's across the command. It is no trivial amount of time and effort you put into us, and I want you to know that it's not lost on how significant that is. I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you. And to the men and women of the 27th Special Operations Wing, let me just say this. I cannot be more proud and excited to be standing here in front of you and rejoining this team. I had the privilege of serving here several years ago as the operations officer of the 73rd SOS during the period of time, where we made that transition with the whiskey over to the gunship. You already heard about that. I will tell you that assignment remains one of the most exciting, rewarding, and challenging professional experiences of my life. And the other thing that I really took away from that is I was sad to leave at the time. And quite honestly, over the years since, I've been a little bit jealous of watching you guys we got to operate that machine we put together and take it into the fight against our most significant adversary. And so mostly, you know, I'm jealous, but quite honestly, right now I've kind of resigned myself to just being proud of that initial effort where we put that airplane together. But really, it's truly awesome to see just how far all of the units and the installation has come since then. The entire site of this base over here did not exist. It was really only a paper drawing when I left in 2012. And while it's nice to go back to our mothership for a while, I will tell you that we never could get the squadron, community, family feel that we had when we were here. And it's just not the same, and I appreciated every minute that we spent here during that previous assignment. The other different thing about the wing and the base, it seems to have a bit of a different feel now. And while we always had a sense of pride, it was in pockets and really sort of unit-centric. But I will tell you that when I come back here now, it seems to be installation-wide, and it's across the wing, and it is palpable to me. And I just want you to know that as an outsider coming back in, I can feel it, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Colonel Hammons, I'm looking forward to continuing the work you and Kiara started on so many fronts, improving the lives of our airmen and families here. When we drove around the base together a couple of months ago, you know, it became pretty obvious that there isn't a square foot of this place that hasn't been made some better by some fashion of you being in command of it. I just want you to know, Julie and I are extremely grateful for the turnover and all the effort that you two spent doing what you do and turning this over to this well-oiled machine that's firing on all cylinders. So I'll conclude simply by saying I'm eager to get back to work in the most mission-focused and lethal wing in the United States Air Force Special Operations Command. So thank you all for coming out this morning, and I look forward to getting back to work.
Colonel Masaitis will now receive his first salute as the commander of the 27th Special Operations Wing. Thank you, Colonel Masaitis. At this time, Colonel Masaitis would like to present flowers to his spouse, Julie, and coins to his children, Chloe and Zachary, for their love and unwavering support. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the departure of the official party and the playing of the Air Force song. Join us in the landing zone for a reception to welcome Colonel Masaitis and his family.
Group commanders, take charge of your groups.
Yes, miss. Yes, miss.